Hello, everyone, and welcome to Intentional by Shay, the podcast where we slow down, tune in, and explore how to live and create with purpose. I'm your host, Shay, and each week we're diving into mindful marketing, digital creativity, and all the little intentional moments that help you build a life and business that actually feels good. So grab your favorite drink, hop into your favorite cozy spot, or just take a deep breath where you are, and let's get intentional. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Intentional by Shay. I am so glad you're here. Whether you're listening while you're folding laundry, driving to work, sneaking in a little me time, or just scrolling and needed something real in your ears today. Now let me be real with you for a second. We were supposed to talk about storytelling today. Like I had this whole plan, diving deep into how to craft stories that resonate, inspire, and convert, all while staying true to your authentic self. And trust me, that conversation is still coming because I love talking about storytelling. But this week, I had something on my heart and I just knew I had to share it with you. Because let's be honest, sometimes the most intentional thing we can do is pivot, right? Sometimes it's not about pushing through the plan, but about leaning into what feels true right now. And what feels true for me is this. Hustle culture has been sold to us as the only way to succeed. Grind harder, sleep later, post more, do more, be more. But what if that's the very thing that's holding us back? So today, we're going to have a real conversation, a fun conversation, one that might make you laugh, definitely make you nod your head, and hopefully make you breathe a little deeper and think, okay, maybe I don't have to do this the way everyone else is telling me to. This episode is all about ditching the hustle without ditching the results. Yep, you heard me right. We're going to talk about how to market with soul, how to stay intentional in the way you show up online, and how to actually get results that feel good without burning yourself out in the process. So if you've ever felt like you're spinning your wheels, posting like a robot, or just trying to keep up with the never-ending treadmill of do more, be more, sell more, this is that episode for you. So grab your coffee, your water, or maybe even your green smoothie. Get comfy, because we're about to get intentional. Okay, so let's talk about hustle culture for a minute. You know the vibe. This constant message that if you're not grinding 24/7, you're falling behind. Like if you're not posting 5 reels a day, running ads, sending weekly emails, and launching something every quarter, then somehow you don't want it bad enough. And look, I'll be the first to admit, I've fallen for the hype too. I've done the robot shuffle where you wake up, slam some coffee or an energy drink, open your laptop, and just start cranking out content because that's what all the marketing gurus said you had to do. And you know what? Sure, I was posting, but it felt empty, forced, like I was a hamster on a wheel chasing someone else's version of success. Now raise your hand, and yes, even if you're in the car right now, just make sure you're safe. If you've ever felt like that, the hustle hamster wheel, you're doing all the things, but you're not even sure if they're the right things. And here's the kicker. Hustle culture makes us believe that the harder we push, the better our results will be. But that's not actually true. More does not automatically equal better. In fact, sometimes more is just more noise. Let's think about it like this. Have you ever gone to a buffet that had way too many options? Like 100 trays of food lined up, and you leave your plate with weird combos like pizza, mashed potatoes, sushi, and a brownie, all squished together? That's hustle culture. It tells us to pile on everything, but the result is a little messy, a little overwhelming, and not that satisfying. What actually works is intentionality, choosing a few things, savoring them, doing them well. It's not about how much you're doing, it's about how aligned it is with who you are and the people you want to reach. So here's the truth bomb I want to drop right now. Hustle is not the same as progress. Hustle is activity. Progress is impact. And those two are not always the same. Now that we've called out hustle culture for what it is, let's break down why it doesn't actually work long term, especially when it comes to marketing. You see, hustle-only marketing is built on one main belief. If you just do enough things, eventually something will stick. Post enough, pitch enough, sell enough, DM enough strangers, throw enough spaghetti at the wall, and eventually you'll hit your goal. And maybe sometimes you do. But at what cost? Here's what happens when you market from pure hustle. You lose your creativity. When you're in constant go, go, go mode, there's no room for ideas to breathe. Everything becomes about speed, not substance. And you end up creating content that feels like filler instead of fire. You lose your authenticity. Hustle-only marketing makes you start copying what you see instead of creating from who you are. Suddenly, you're mimicking what works for someone else, but it doesn't even sound like you. Your audience can feel that disconnect. They know when you're just pushing content versus actually sharing yourself. You lose connection. And this is a big one. Marketing is supposed to be about people, about serving, about showing up, about creating real relationships. But when you're hustling, you're so focused on the output that you forget the humans on the other side of the screen. And let me tell you something. People don't connect with perfect funnels or with copy-paste captions or with yet another flashy sales tactic. People connect with people. So if hustle-only marketing leaves you drained, robotic, and disconnected, how could it possibly create the results you're dreaming of? Spoiler alert, it doesn't. And maybe that's where you've been feeling stuck lately. Like you've been doing the posts, checking the boxes, following the formula, but it still feels like shouting into the void. If that's you, I need you to hear this, and I need you to hear this clearly. It's not you. It's the strategy. Hustle-only marketing is not designed to build long-term, soul-aligned results. It's designed to keep you busy. But hear this. Busy does not equal impactful. Busy does not equal intentional. And busy definitely does not equal fulfilled. Okay, so if hustle-only marketing is the problem, what's the solution? Because I'm not about to leave you hanging here, right? We don't just expose the lie, we replace it with something better, something stronger, something sustainable. I call this the soulful shift. It's about moving away from grind for grind's sake and into marketing that's aligned with your values, your energy, and your audience. Marketing that feels good while still bringing results. So let's walk through 3 core practices you can start leaning into right now. Practice number 1, root your strategy and values. Before you hit post, before you plan a launch, before you jump on that trending sound, ask yourself, does this align with my values? When you root your marketing in values, you stop chasing trends for approval and start creating content that's magnetic to the right people. Practice number 2, create from overflow, not from obligation. Let me tell you something I had to learn the hard way, and I'm still learning even today. When you're creating from a place of, I have to post today, it shows. The energy is flat, the message feels forced, and honestly, it doesn't connect. But when you create from overflow, when you've given yourself time to think, breathe, and actually live, your content carries a completely different energy. It feels alive. Practice number 3, engage like a human, not a billboard. This one might sound obvious, but let's be real. It's where most people get tripped up. Marketing is not about blasting your message into the void. It's about having conversations, genuine conversations. So instead of thinking, how can I get people to buy? Try asking, how can I build a relationship here? When you engage like a human, people don't just buy from you. They trust you, they remember you, and they recommend you. That's the kind of impact hustle marketing could never replicate. So there you have it, the soulful shift in action. 1, root in values. 2, create from overflow. And 3, engage like a human. None of these require more hours in your day, more endless posts, or more burnout. They just require you to slow down, tune in, and show up differently. And that shift, now that's where the real magic begins. So let's pause here for a second, because I don't want this episode to just be a feel-good pep talk that you nod along to and then you forget about it when life gets too busy again. No. We're about being intentional, remember? So let's take what we've learned and actually ground it. I'm going to ask you 3 reflection questions that I want you to reflect on, and I really want you to make something of it. Reflection question number 1. What are the top 3 values that guide the way I want to show up in my life and my business? Reflection question 2. Where in my content or marketing do I feel like I'm creating from obligation instead of overflow? And reflection question 3, how can I start engaging more like a human this week? Here's your mini challenge. Pick one of those answers and put it into action this week. One small intentional step. Maybe it's rooting your posts in your value of community, or only creating content on inspired days, or responding to comments with genuine connection. Small intentional steps add up, and the more you practice them, the more natural they become. Because here's the truth. Sustainable success doesn't come from overnight hustling. It comes from consistent, intentional choices that build momentum over time. Whew, what an episode. Let's take a deep breath together here. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. You did it. You showed up for yourself today, and that's no small thing. We've unpacked a lot in this episode. We called out the hustle culture myth. We broke down why hustle-only marketing doesn't actually serve you, and we walked through the soulful shift, rooting in values, creating from overflow, and engaging like a human. And then we took it one step further with reflection and a challenge to bring it all to life. If you're feeling lighter, clearer, or even just a little more hopeful right now, that's the power of intentionality. That's what happens when you trade busy for aligned, when you trade hustle for heart. And listen, I want to hear from you. Shoot me a message, tag me, or share your biggest aha moment from this episode. Because the more you engage with these shifts, the more they'll stick and the more fun we'll have building this intentional marketing journey together. Now next week, I am so excited because we're going to circle back to the episode we almost had today, storytelling. But not just storytelling for the sake of storytelling. We're diving into how to create stories that resonate, inspire, and convert, all while staying true to your authentic self. No cookie cutter formulas, no cringy sales scripts, just real, genuine, powerful storytelling that connects. So you definitely want to come back for episode 3, creating content that converts without selling your soul. You don't want to miss it. Until then, breathe deep, move with intention, and remember, you don't need more hustle to create impact. You need more heart. And you already have that in abundance. See you next time.